Hello and welcome to the Pay to Win podcast, the podcast that shows you how gamers and other people spend their time, money, and resources to get the most out of their lives. I'm Jimmy, joined by Ghost. Ghost, how are you doing today?
Hot.
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 You're in Florida. It's would you say it's above 80 degrees?
In my room, yes. I don't know what it is outside though, because
So
I
we
don't go outside.
we got to get back to the point of you actually
Let me
having that
see.
webcam on, man.
I went to okay, the weather. Currently the weather is the high is 84, the low is 75, but it's 80 right now.
It's
Let's
insane.
see.
It's insane.
Feels like 85. Yeah, it feels like 85 plus in my room though. It's bad,
So
man.
yeah, we just were talking about topics, and now we have decided on this idea of reverse progression, which may or may not be isolated to games like BDO. We can try and think about how it happens in other games, but then also the idea of catch-up mechanics, right? Because especially in games that have progression that can actually take you backwards, catch-up mechanics are actually really important, not only for new players, but also your combination of like returning players or people who have, they've managed to fall behind through some mechanism, right? They're either not as hardcore or they put in like a steady amount of time over a long period of time. So I think we've both experienced this like pretty hardcore, right? I mean,
BDO particularly, yeah.
yeah, it's
Not in
interesting.
many other games though. Like I can only relate to this with Lineage when you die in PvP and you lose gear.
So when you started in BDO, would you say that like you felt like you were catching up to people really quickly? Because that's kind of one thought that I had, even like my
No,
very first week, right?
that's why I started to pay to win.
Yeah. So you're
I
competitively.
wasn't, yeah, I wasn't catching them. But when were you playing? More
Um,
recent than me? Because
no,
it
no.
depends.
August
There was no
2017.
catch-up mechanics. There was no catch-up mechanics.
Well, I just want to say, like, when I joined the game in 2017, all the rage was this idea of Azula's accessories, which were brand new at the time, and they were a huge jump from like the whole like duo mark of shadow meta. So much so that like my guild master was like, "Yo, Jimmy, you don't need to even worry about these accessories. Just get Azula's and then work on full tri boss gear." Like that was actually a permissible way to build. And for something like, back then it wasn't a big deal, but like that actually was enough to get me to like 220 AP if you had like tet weapons, full tri armor, right? But what about you? When did you start?
Yeah, later than that, but
Yeah.
Stula's wasn't that special. I remember getting told to get Tri Grinnell,
Yeah.
and
Were you still
I
told to get like a tri Laverto before going Tridandy and Zarka?
no, no.
So Laverto was already pretty much gone in your meta.
Well,
um,
it's not. Yeah, I guess, but that's just. I don't want to be so condescending. It's just stupid people in BDO though, because there's nothing wrong with the Liberto. It's literally a little bit
yeah,
less effective than a Zarka. It has the same AP though.
right. I think that like everything past plus 15, you could argue the main catch up mechanic. Think of it this way. So I've had this thought a long time ago. But when the game didn't have enhancement past plus 15, the hardest part of any enhancement was 14 to 15. And you could almost argue that the part of it that's really a huge catch up mechanic is specifically the upgrade from Pri to Duo, because it doesn't downgrade and it's like really high percentage, right? Like 30%. So like if you think about it, everyone who works super hard to get plus 15 at some point, like it overnight it just didn't matter so quickly,
They
right?
never changed that, by the way. Plus 15 is still as hard as it
It,
used
it
to be.
still is difficult, right? Right. And that's a good point, I guess. It's at least they didn't make that enhancement easier. It's just that the cap goes higher,
They did make it easier.
like through
Just a
memes and
different.
stuff, different market
Mm,
vectors.
you use flawless magical stones that drop out bosses. I
True.
think you use
True.
like 10 or 12 or something that automatically puts it to 15 and it
Right.
takes away a certain amount of durability.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like it's totally worth it unless you're trying to build a fail stack.
Hmm. So yeah, I'm thinking that Try must have come out long before we started playing, right? Like P2W, Try, Type Pen.
Uh,
Obviously for accessories it
yeah.
was there in the beginning, but it's weird to think that armor originally didn't go that far, or weapons. So any other mechanics that you could think of? Gear progression's one thing for Catchup. I'm just thinking of other things that might have been in my part of progression that I didn't know about. Like one thing my mind goes to,
1000% combat XP weekend or whatever that shit was.
yeah, like the huge events,
What are your opinions on that? Because like if you joined in right when that happened, you had a
a free
literally a
ride.
1000% better
Yeah, it's
opportunity.
it's got to be really confusing too, because like if you were a new player that week specifically, you would have had the easiest time getting to level 61, even like if you wanted to push to 62, right? Um,
And then you notice it's taking a lot longer to level.
right, and then like your next character that you make, you like never want to level again. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, level, by the way, like side note here, leveling solo is not fun. Getting
yeah,
power level to 61 or whatever people do nowadays,
yeah,
that's so much easier than it is to actually level by yourself.
yeah.
And
It
I'm
is.
saying this because for my season this season, I've been leveling alone and I didn't have any gear except the tri accessories, the blue tri accessories from quests. That's
Right.
all I had. And it's really not that fun because stuff doesn't die. Like I have to
You just mean? Well, can you
stuff
go into
doesn't
that?
get one shot
Yeah.
like you're used to. So you have to continually like spam lightning chain or whatever. Like hex sanctuary mobs take a while to kill,
Right.
and
Right.
it's slow going. And you know the XP grind from killing those low level mobs and doing
Mm-hmm.
the quest is significantly slower than getting power leveled. It's when you get to like 59 and 60 and then the power level versus the questing sort of evens out a little bit. Because when you do comma,
Hmm.
uh, Dregan and
Yeah.
like Stars End, you get like Stars End gives you like 50% of a level, if not more.
Right. Right. It does.
And you have to do barely anything for those quests.
Yeah. If you can have someone help you level through it, it's massive, right? Like just like if there's someone there, or if you have a friend who's grinding it, and you're like, "Yo, can I just AFK for my like my six or
Right.
seven quests?" And then you get
Totally.
like the 10 other ones. Yeah,
I
it makes a big
totally would have
difference.
had a friend level me at Bloody Monastery if he was around, but I haven't heard
Wow.
from him lately.
I'm not gonna lie. Monkey was asking me for a power level, and Clover even offered me to chill. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out.
Dude,
I'm
I'm level
missing out, dude.
57. No,
Yeah.
wait, I'm level 56.
So XP is one thing. That's
Slow.
an interesting idea of So obviously we can't go down in XP other than when you die, right? When you get killed.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you can't go down because that's a huge issue that you can still lose. Like
Yeah.
dying to Dastard Beggar or whatever when he
Yeah.
spawns as a boss. Not a rift boss, but a field boss. When you die to him, you'll lose a percent, which is crazy.
You know, it's
And you have to pay to get that percentage back.
right. Right. You literally have to swipe if you don't have memes. So that's one thing
Which
that like people have talked
that's
about, but
another argument I've had a lot with people about the
yeah,
not the memes
the
by the way, but the
tiers.
tiers. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that tiers are given out at a pace or whatever that makes it so you never have to buy them, but I find that be not true.
Do you
It
think?
depends how many times you're dying and using tiers and how many days you log in for attendance rewards, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. So I probably have hundreds of them, but I'm not like the average by any definition, right?
Do you
So
buy
if
them?
what? No, I've never bought one before. I've never bought a single
Never.
tier.
I
Actually, I
definitely.
think I've accidentally bought one tier when I was at Vel one time because I was just spamming enter after I died,
I
and
don't think anyone that hasn't had pearls on their account at some time hasn't bought a tier because of the
yeah,
way they have
on
it set up.
accident.
If you don't have a tier on your character,
Yeah,
it
you can.
automatically just takes 50 pearls. Boom.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And you don't pay attention to that. You're just trying to res real quick so you can fight that guy who just ganked you. I
So
mean, that's when most people are trying to res quickly.
right, right, definitely. And
And they
then,
won't notice 50 pearls missing. It's such a small amount.
and the biggest one has to be money, though, right? Like that has to be like the crux of our discussion today. I feel.
It's always the crux of discussion.
Dang it!
Pay
Why
to
is
win.
money so important? But even
It's pay to win podcast.
you had me. It's true. This is true. You had me thinking about RuneScape. Actually, my mind
Oh,
went there because
that game needs some money to upgrade the graphics.
maybe, maybe it does. But RuneScape's one of the games that you can actually lose your money. So like, if you've put a lot of time and effort into your character, you can invest money poorly. You can lose money when you die. You lose your items. That could be hundreds of hours of work. There's a lot of things that are very punishing in that game, let alone like a hardcore character.
So the money thing makes me think of New World also, because when you get killed, you lose gear durability. Like if you don't spend money to fix your gear, it'll all break and be useless, and it's
Yeah,
expensive depending on how much you die.
I remember experiencing that in at least when I was in the beta. I actually repaired everything, or no, what happened is I broke everything after I was trading, and I had no money, so I couldn't repair anything, and I had no way to get the money back, and I felt like I was like actually kind of stuck.
There's always a way to get the money back. Go to the town and start begging for gold. Sorry.
Yeah, that's actually what I ended up.
I don't know if you
I
recall our
got some
World of
money back
Warcraft days, but it's a very effective
for
strategy.
begging. Yeah, definitely.
If I
Um,
remember correctly, you went to Stormwind and left right away because you got paid.
Sounds good. Um, yeah, I remember. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I ever actually did that in my old WoW days.
No,
I
it's cringe.
yeah. I
But we were on
mean,
RP server, so it was
yeah. I
acceptable.
remember people in Goldshire. Like if you really needed gold, you could kind of work your way through, but it was not very efficient.
No, but if you ever need gold, you just run around and gather something or go do a quest. Same thing in New
And it's
World.
more
Like
effective anyway.
you could use
Yeah.
Outpost Rush when that's not broken, which
Right.
it's broken again. I got into it a few times and then they closed it.
Right. So, do you think that, at least for games like BDO, do you think the developers really think about the idea of catching up with money for people who've gotten screwed over? Because obviously they give away tons of free stuff all the time, which is raising the tide, right? That is
Mm,
part of it, but do you think, like, I mean, isn't the solution to the problem more to make some things a little bit less punishing?
what? All right, so you want to hear something punishing? Last
Yes.
night, all right. So I have Tet Manos necklace, and I had two Tri Manos, and the rest duo, and
Mm-hmm.
three of them were duo, and I went for Tri on the three duos. They all failed. So then I
Okay.
went for Tet on the two tries, and they both failed. And then I only had a Tet left, and I did not click it for those who wish I had, because
Good.
then I would have been way more depressed. But I've impeded my progress by so much just last night. Like I don't make a lot of silver right now, and that hurt. It was, I don't know, 2 months worth of silver for how much I make with how little I play actively now.
It's
I don't know.
absolutely crazy to think about that in terms of time. And I never really wanted to think about it for clear reasons. Like everything I was doing with that Penn Blackstar 6 month nightmare. But at the same time,
Right? Oh, you just made me remind me of something. I listed my fallen god because of my situation. Thoughts?
the try you put at max.
No, because there's somebody fighting me over it.
So where do you have the try?
It's like a few under max. I think
Like
it's the
78
highest
or
one right
something?
now. Yeah, yeah. The guy is. Someone had it at max. Didn't. I wouldn't say undercut him, but I did technically because I put it one under.
Has it
But
sold?
now he's fighting me. I don't want to fight though.
But it's not sold yet, right?
No. Why are you gonna tell me to take it down? Convince me.
Um,
Dude. I have one Tet Manos and base. And I'm
no, dude,
sick.
with the current market for Red Nose, I could
Yeah,
never
no, that's the
convince you to
only reason.
take down a 78 bill order for
See,
try.
that's the other. That's the main reason because I have another Tet Red Nose now from that stupid. freebie that I have to eventually make pen, and might as well go grind Turos again. You can convert it, yes?
Yeah, yeah, you should be able to once you get it to pen.
Yeah, I would hope so.
What are your thoughts on like this whole pen armor event? Do you think it's targeted more towards new players or to people
I
who
don't
have
think
failed?
it's targeted.
Don't think it's targeted. So they
No,
just
it's
kind of put it
just a
out there.
stupid ass thing they implemented into the game because they're
Yeah.
not paying attention to what's happening in the game. I don't think anyone truly thinks this is a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, the
What,
prices
like,
surely crashed pretty quick. You can get a Ted
oh, they'll be
Urgons now
crashed
for
forever.
like Ted
All of
Urgons is
them will be
literally half
crashed. Why
price.
wouldn't they be?
Well, I mean, the reality is that some people are actually making money on them, and other people are just trying to get the value out of their old items before they
I'm
lose
I'm
it.
okay with them killing the enhancing for profit market. Also, I think
Yeah, I agree.
enhancing for profit is a huge issue for the game and the economy.
Yeah,
If it was just like Salt and Biohack or whatever, I don't think it would be an issue. But because they stream, everybody that watches them make
they're mimicking.
billions and trillions tries to do it, and it ruins the market. Hards and sharp shouldn't be sold out, or hard shouldn't be sold out. Sharps aren't. I don't think hards. People will be like, "Oh, well, hards are sold out because of this new event. You need conks to turn them in." Yeah, but they were sold out for the longest time before that too. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I saw that.
People like to gamble because they think that it's the best way to make money. And I don't think there should be any gambling in this game, quite frankly.
I mean, how much casino experience do you have in real life? Just curious. Have you been to
I mean, of
like you've been to
course,
Hard Rock,
we just
right?
talked about this, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just
I've been
thinking.
out of the country to a casino. I've
Okay,
been to
okay.
casinos in the islands, in Canada, and in America.
So I just yeah,
You ever been
it
to
was almost rhetorical
Atlantis?
question. It was almost rhetorical.
Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas?
Yeah. So would you say that anyone at a casino is trying to make money? Like what percentage of people?
No,
Right. Right.
one maybe.
Yeah, like there's probably at any given casino with 100 people, there's probably around 5 people who think they're actually there
Most
to
people
make
want
money
to grab a cigarette or a pack or two and then grab
and try and get lucky, right?
alcohol.
They're there to get
No,
lucky.
not they're not trying to get lucky, they're just wasting time. Are you trying to get lucky when you play Black Desert? Like you're just playing a video game. It's the same thing to them.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I'm
I think
telling you,
there's an
dude. You don't
element
understand the mentality of an actual
of a gamer, a real
chronic
gamer.
gambler. No, of a
Oh, a
gambler. Because
gambler.
yeah, because you are more concise about it. You don't do it for the like out of boredom.
Get stuff and things astray. Yeah, it's that's an interesting thought. So you're saying that I really would struggle to relate with the average gambler.
Yeah, dude. When's the last time you went to a casino and sat there for 12 hours at a slot machine?
Yeah, it's been a lifetime, man.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's
Sure.
an actual. That's the normal gambler.
Yeah, someone habitually
Someone
kind
who
of
sits at
stuck
a
in the
slot.
loop.
No, someone who goes with their cigarette. That this relates to my mother actually. She goes there with the cigarettes and she sits and plays the penny slots for all day.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know what's enjoyable about that,
So
but
clearly, I mean, whether the enjoyment, well, I guess it does play in, but how do you bring this back to BDO though, right? Is that's what I was trying to say is that like most people in BDO who enhance, I think they do try and do it to get quick gains, right? But
yeah, because they are fooled to believe that that's the best way to make quick money.
would you say that's more like, I mean,
Look at Naru
how,
gear and then Tuvala gear.
yeah,
And even before Naru, they had like the General's Belt, even going further.
yeah.
Anytime they add enhancing systems that don't have the normal enhancing rates, they are trying to basically, engulf you in the mindset that, oh, this shit's easy.
So as far as you're concerned, it's more about it's more of a bait and switch, right? Like all these
Yeah, and I don't
enhancing
think games should
systems.
have gambling also.
Yeah.
Well, not. I don't know, man. There's so
So
many people I've heard of quitting BDO because of enhancing.
Right.
friends and just randoms. And my own personal experience is like I fucking hate it.
So here's a
But
question for you. What if enhancing was like 3 to 5 times harder, but it didn't ever downgrade?
that would be amazing.
You think it'd be good?
Yes. It's the downgrading that makes it annoying.
I mean, imagine how different the game would be if it was, if
I'd be
the,
completely fine with
yeah, if the
that. Making it
difficulty
harder,
level was much higher, like much higher, right? Like,
no problem, dude. Just
yeah.
make it so it doesn't downgrade. Like, Jesus, man.
I don't know.
Imagine
Like
having
when even when you say that, I just feel the pain of like a million gamers, you know. So I was
at
there.
Black Star
Yeah.
3670 Cron Stones. Is that the exact number? Tet Fallen God 2700. Try Fallen God 2000. Why do I know these numbers?
It hurts, man. Just thinking about it hurts.
I know those numbers because those are the things I got stuck on.
I mean, it was like, how quickly can I grind out 3 bill and then blow it up? That was what I did for a long
Yeah,
time.
and that hurts every time it happens.
So here's the thing, though, is like what I'm really saying is that what if it was 5,000 every time, and because Cronstones it doesn't downgrade, but
So you
the
can't use that in.
like the reality is that people would still be in the same cyclical feeling of stuckness, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't be downgrading. That's the thing. So like you could continue to grind wherever you were grinding without any issue because your gear would be the same. Remember how many like this relates to you so much. How
It
many times
does.
have you grinded Bloody Monastery and blew something up that affected your grind?
Well,
So many times. And sold shit too.
yes, but way lesser than my Stars End. Like that's way more
Well, I'm
applicable.
just using the most recent example, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm just saying like pre-Pen Black Star, I
If you
literally couldn't
never
grind there.
if you
Like it was
never
horrible.
downgraded any of the gear you had.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. So I first downgraded stuff like years ago, right? 2017 days. I mean,
Yeah, I've been downgrading shit since the beginning of my career in BDO.
yeah, I
And the
remember.
worst part about the downgrading system is when it blows up for accessories.
Yeah.
And on a similar note is the alchemy stones.
Hmm.
Those are the worst to enhance if you've ever
Ooh,
done it.
dude,
They evaporate.
I think if I ever get back like hardcore into BDO, Resplendent Alchemy Stone, Splendid. I'm
Splendid's
gonna be
better.
pushing for it.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
You've never tried it. You don't know what it involves.
Well, no, I just try and buy one. I'd snipe it.
Maybe, but enhancing it is the dumbest thing ever. Once you get
Agreed.
past, once
Sharp.
you click a resplendent,
Yeah.
not sharp, sharp downgrades if you fail.
Yeah, I'm saying once you get past sharp, right?
Yeah,
It's
once
not.
you're clicking resplendent and higher,
Yep.
or splendid and higher, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it has the opportunity or the chance to not downgrade, evaporate. It literally says evaporate, and it disappears.
Yeah.
And the percentage for success is like one or something. So it's probably gonna evaporate.
Can you think of any real reason about just why, man? Like, what they had to have some thought about why they thought blowing stuff up makes sense for economics, right? It has to,
That
but
argument you just
it's
made
wrong.
is
It's
so
wrong, right?
wrong.
It's wrong.
Like, I mean,
So
it should be that way, but
you have me, yeah. So
you're
like,
like they ruin the market left and right. It doesn't matter what mechanics are in the game. It's like, okay, so what you just said, right? I
yeah,
agree with you to some extent. So like an ogre ring, right?
yep,
You should increase the price of an ogre ring because of how many times people blow up ogre rings to try to get what they want. But if you look at ogre rings, they're like 60 mil right now. Why is that? Are people grinding Mancha Forest for ogre rings? Did Calpheon Hadum come out and people are grinding there for the ogres? Oh, no, that's not what happened. What happened is
we just
they
had a
came out with
box.
a bunch of stupid events and just give away,
Yeah, we just
give
had to
away, give away.
find an accessory box, right? Didn't we?
I don't think the accessory box is what kills it.
Dude, it's huge though.
Yeah, but
I
all
guarantee
right.
you, every time that event
Are you in
happens, the
BDO
price
right
drops
now?
by at least 1%.
Yeah. Are you in BDO right now though?
I mean, kind of.
Can you look at the market? Look at Ogre Ring, base Ogre Ring for the last 3 months.
All right.
You see there's a big dip
We're going
the
in.
past
We're
day.
looking at ogre rings. We're looking at the 3 month base ring.
Base ring.
Okay, see it on screen.
Yes. All right. You see the huge dip from this most recent box, yeah? Right?
Yeah, it's significant.
All right. What about the last 3 months though? Like, what the hell is that? Because it was way lower. None of that should apply. People aren't grinding ogres. They just keep
Well,
releasing random
there's
crap that ruins it.
yeah, I'd say the
Shikaku
biggest thing.
boxes, you know,
I mean, if you want to
uh,
look at the parallel market, you have to look at Tet, right? Because maybe this is around the time. Is this when we got the free?
and Kaposha.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And this market used to be way different. Didn't someone pay
But
like you said? Someone paid like 18 bill for a Tet Ogre, right? Like a few years ago.
Ocean Shop, when the new market came out, paid
Yeah.
24.4 bill.
For Tet?
Yeah,
Yeah, there
but
you
that's
go.
nothing I can shit talk him about because nowadays, like everything has changed prices like that.
All right.
Like if you bought a pen ogre right now for 80 bill, like haha, I know someone who bought one for 20 bill.
Yep.
Noob.
Yep.
No.
Hmm. So if let's just try and imagine a world, right, where BDO is a game that doesn't let you blow up accessories or downgrade gear. And you go grind and you have like, you put in like say 100 hours, and in those 100 hours you make a certain amount of money that's enough for maybe 50 clicks of something that should only take 10 clicks, but all 50 still fail, right?
Hmm.
Is there any merit to the argument that by forcing the downgrade, they're making you want to try to grind other places, something like that? Like push you into other content
Mm,
specifically?
I don't know, man. But here, it
Like,
made
did I
me think
enjoy
of something.
Schultz more because my gear was worse? Is that even valid at all?
Listen to this argument. What is your
Yeah.
opinion on the fact that you and me have been playing for what, 2, 3 years minimum of
Sure.
active
Yeah,
time?
3 years
Like,
active. Just call it, yeah.
how the fuck are we not max gear?
Well, I got pretty good gear, man.
Are you 720 gear score?
I'm like
Let me ask you another
672 now.
question. Do you
That's
have an
pretty
evasion
good.
set?
Nah.
Like, do you have a DP set?
Not really, dude. I'm just a DK.
Like, how come you don't have multiple set? I figure if someone's been playing the game for a certain amount of time, they should have multiple sets of gear and
That's
like the
if they
best gear.
PvP a lot. Let's be real.
Nah,
Right?
dude.
You'd never have a
Nah.
DP gear set if you're just PvEing all the time, right?
If you're shy, the DP, sure, but evasion? What's wrong with running around an evasion? Don't you think you should be in evasion gear on Archer?
Well, no, just because the way that the game is progressing, I feel that DR is going to be more effective, at least until I'm like actually 700, you know?
All right, well, you're just bringing up other issues that are in the game, but obviously evasion should be more powerful than DR because you can't get hit.
Well, that's a
It's
really
like, all right,
interesting
look at a
comment.
look at a warrior in WoW and a rogue in WoW. A warrior should be able to take more hits. A
Yeah,
rogue shouldn't get hit and therefore take less damage.
right.
And evasion is a rogue,
Yeah, I agree with that.
so they shouldn't get hit. So therefore, they should be better in PvP unless you're like tanking. Think about a warrior in PvP. And I guess I'm talking about WoW mostly, but because like
Yeah, I mean, I
there's
played
no
Warrior
you
for a
can't.
while.
Yeah, I know you did.
Fury and Arms. Yeah, I'm not sure if the
You even
comparison really
led your
carries
own
over.
molten core run
Ooh.
week one.
It was not week 1. It was like week 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can't sell me that hard, man. So we
Week
we
one.
we want to make sure we're staying on topic. So excuse me, for BDO, I wouldn't argue that evasion gear is required to have endgame. Ooh, my mic just went way out. I wouldn't argue that evasion gear is required to have endgame gear, right?
What?
Like,
Listen to what you said a
would
minute
you
ago.
say every class requires evasion gear at endgame?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we should have fully built sets and extra sets for side specs or whatever. It's like if you were playing WoW actively for 2 or 3 years and there wasn't another expansion that added new gear, and you were a druid, let's say, you
Okay.
would almost definitely have a PvP set, a tanking set, a healing set, a DPS set,
Sure, sure.
and like a traveling set or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all of it would be like BIS.
Right.
Getting BIS gear and BDO, on the other hand, is you either get really lucky, you save up your money for months and months while you pay for pilots
But
to,
nobody in the world has Biskir. There's like one guy in Russia. Two people now, maybe.
when I say BIS, I'm not talking about literally falling guy because that doesn't count.
But it,
That's
dude,
nonsense. No,
it's an extension of
it's
the
a
same
bullshit
bullshit.
item that they put into the game that
Yeah.
has no chance of getting it.
It's it's
It's like you shouldn't even look at that.
it's an extension of the same punishing system. It's just a farther extension of
No,
it.
that it's literally a scam.
So
Like it's
like
not a punishing system. It's a
Black
scam.
Jay never has enhanced Blackstar because from the day it came out, he's like the enhancing system's a scam. Like that's
I'm
what.
not gonna say the whole enhanced system is a scam, but Penn Fallen God,
Yeah.
100% is a scam.
But like there will be a day when like they give us so many free materials that it
No,
won't
no,
be.
there won't be.
Yes.
No,
The
because the
percentage might
percentage
even
chance,
change. What if the percent changed?
then it's a worse scam
I
because
don't
then
think they've
how's it
ever
gonna
done
be?
that before, but that would be
They
something.
have done that. They just don't tell you.
They have?
Yeah, because before they didn't even have percentages.
Yeah, but everyone
Like
kind
I've
of
heard
knew
of
where they
so many
were.
sketchy things that people have found out from BDO, from data mining and testing.
Yeah, I know the data mining. That didn't really happen until 2017 for at least
What the fuck blue or whatever.
enhancing rates. Yep. Okay, okay.
But yeah,
So,
Penn Fallen God is 100% a scam. There's no chance anybody can actually get it without, rolling a god luck roll or whatever. It's
here's a.
not
Yeah.
realistic. And if something's not realistic and it has a monetary value tied to it, it's like they're trying to sell an NFT that you can't resell. Come on,
Well,
man.
that's just a bad asset, but yeah. Well, here's a
Well,
question for you.
yes.
Do you think of things like Blackstar and Fallen God as catch-up mechanics?
You have to make sense with that because it doesn't make sense.
Well, I think there's an argument that it's easier to make a Tet Blackstar than a Penzarka. Fair?
Well, not really. It's not that much of a discrepancy to say, yeah.
It's not significant enough to be real.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm. Because to me, I did think of Blackstar as like a PvE catch-up mechanic, just because the difficulty in getting Penzarka years ago, I think, is way harder than what Tet Blackstar is now. Because Pen is also easier. So I guess part of it's disguised by the fact that enhancing is easier than it used to be.
Why do you think it's easier?
Number one by far is that materials are more readily available. Has to be.
Right now, you can't buy barely any materials. Memfrags are sold out also.
Yeah, but we make so much more money. Like Sulfur Mine 200 AP, you can pull what?
Can you please never bring that up around me? Thank you. Don't talk about sulfur mines and how good it is now, because it really
It's
depresses me.
tilting. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
No, it's not tilting. It's depressing. Like I feel like I wasted 1,000 hours, and that's depressing. Not tilting. I don't get angry. I get sad. It's so bad. Now I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. Fuck.
Yeah,
How
you
many
want
people
to.
do you think have spent that long
I
grinding?
mean, Ghost, this is exactly what we're talking about on this podcast. To be fair, so you're justified in your indignation. You are.
Don't use big words that people don't understand, like me.
Yeah.
Indignation.
Indignation.
Jesus.
So Sulfur Mine is a rough example, but the truth is that like if you were guiding somebody within 3 days of guiding that person without, it would be fun to do a challenge to like race to 10 billion silver, just straight up 10 bill on a new account, and see how long it would take on like a fresh account, like how many days. That'd be
You're
fun
talking about
content.
days played, like time played?
Um,
Because I have a
yeah,
strategy.
like
I have a winning
72 hours of
strategy.
time played.
I have a winning strategy for that.
Well, is it some bullshit like log in 1 hour every day and collect your shit and then leave?
That's a different strategy, but mine was very similar, but a lot longer of a time
I'm like, that
span.
doesn't count. Let's do
No, you
72
log
real
in for
real
Vel.
hours,
You
not
log in
game
for
hours, real
Vel.
hours, and
You
more
just log in
legitimate.
for Vel,
Uh
not
huh.
for intense rewards.
Yeah.
So hopefully you get lucky and you get a Vel's heart. 72 hours worth of killing Vel. That's a lot of Vel's bundles. And if
Yeah,
you get
12
Vel's
per
heart,
hour,
dude,
right?
there you go, 10 bill, boom.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it took you got the
Funny
level.
story,
It's all
but
right. It's funny and it was a joke, but think about this. Some new players join the game, they join a guild, and the guild's like, "Oh, we're all going to Vel. Hop on this boat." They're like, "What?
yeah.
What boat? What Vel?" And they just get in. They get on the boat. They open up their attendance or their Black Spirit safe that they didn't even know existed, and they have fucking Vel's heart and 10 billion silver on day one of playing or week one.
Who
And
was it?
what do you think they're gonna do with it? Are
Yeah,
they gonna use it
there was a guy in
correctly?
Influence who just he yoinked a Garmoth heart like his second or third time going to Garmoth.
That is tilting. That's not depressing. That's tilting.
Yeah,
I still have never gotten anything
but
off of
that
it.
type of stuff, I've never gotten a Velas for what it's worth, man. In my whole
Yeah, but
time,
you don't do bosses.
I used to do Vel like every week.
How
I,
many times have you done Vel in total?
Probably like 200.
And you never got it once? That
No,
sucks.
no.
That seems like a high number also. 200?
I mean, I went to it when it came out. I was going every week, and then when it started getting to double weeks, I'd go to them, and then when it became like a full on double event, yeah, I mean, I had a Vel out there that hadn't been back here since 2017. I never even brought him back. But a couple months back,
Bro,
I took my Vel
I don't
back to level it up, so I
yeah,
haven't
that
been to
sounds
Vel.
sus, dude, because back in the day, your loot went right to your character, so how would you have had inventory space?
Maids.
It wasn't a bundle.
You could still maid your coral rings and the coral and everything
Oh,
else.
true.
The only thing was gold bars and
So you
like,
paid to win to have a Vel alt that you never
wow,
returned.
wow.
Hey man, you said it, not me.
So RNG can be its own catch-up mechanic. Fair?
Yeah, but there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just random.
Yeah. It's one that tilts people. Like, but the thing is, like, every veteran wants the beginner to get lucky, right?
No,
They want to get kind of lucky. Enough that they'll
no,
stick around, no?
no.
You're like, I
That's
won't have it.
that's a scam.
It's
No,
a
no,
scam?
no. Yeah, I want people to know how the game truly is. I think Naru is. I think the company should get sued for Naru gear, straight up.
You think they should get sued for Naru gear?
Yeah, because of how they're manipulating the player base into thinking enhancing is, easy. Spend money. All you got to do is click this a few times and it's gonna go. You don't even need to use a fail stack. What is the purpose of Naru gear if not to bait and switch people into thinking that enhancing is easy?
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah,
It's an
it's fact.
introductory system to make people think enhancing is easy. Yeah, hundred
Well, you
percent.
just agreed with it then.
To like the word, yeah, verbatim.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it either
Yeah,
because it's
that's what it
literally
is.
just a scam.
It serves no purpose at all. I mean, it
Yeah,
really
because
doesn't. They could
the
have
gear
just,
is shit also,
I
and they
mean,
give you they give you so many stones also. Like, all
yeah,
right, so my guy had I think I made like four full sets of Pendaru gear. So all right, for
only
those out
four.
there,
That seems kind
no,
of
no,
low. I don't
listen,
know
I
if
don't
I
use
can
fail
believe
stacks. I
you.
just click it. In fact, I save the fail stacks from the fails, and I use them for actual stuff. Like I'll get a couple 10 plus stacks out of it. Anyway, for those who don't know, you can turn all your Pen Naru gears into Pride to Vala gears. That
Right.
way, when you click the Pride to Vala trying to get that to whatever,
Mm-hmm.
if you get it down to zero durability, you don't need to repair it. Just
Make another
crash
one.
it and use another one.
Yep.
Easy. Because the pen Narus are free, literally free.
Supposedly, there's someone who did the entire Medea quest line and had like 2,000 stones and managed to not make like they kept failing, I guess, armor.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I'm like, you can make like 20 plus, can't you? On
Yeah,
average.
whoever said that is an idiot. Like,
Like, I don't know.
trying not to be so rude and blunt,
So
but
you don't
like,
use your Nader's band to protect those, or no?
what, to protect those?
Well, like if you build up a 6 stack, don't you use that for pen or something like that on Naru? I don't fail stack my Naru. I
A
actually
six
just
stack? I don't what?
yeah. So like if you fail failing duo Naru twice, then you put that on the Nader's band so that once you get to
No,
try, use
no,
that to
no.
go for
When
Tet or
I
pen.
fail, if I fail a pro or if I fail a pen and then a tet, then I do it
Yeah,
because then it gets over 10.
right. So you keep your. I'm just making sure because a lot of people don't even bother with that, but it's actually a pretty big percent gain.
Yeah, if you have the nadirs or
Mm-hmm.
naders, whatever, and that's another scam there.
Yeah.
Yeah, naders ban.
Excuse me. We could talk about scams in BDO all day long.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, there's a lot of scam systems, a lot of brutally painful game mechanics that
Yeah, like
could
I
be
think that loot
completely
scrolls
removed.
count as that also, except that it's less obvious.
Yeah, it's not as blatant. I agree. I agree.
You know,
I'm with you.
what the naders ban though, like whenever they release something now that didn't exist before, and
Mm-hmm.
they make a lot of money off of it, I call scam because they're just trying to take more money out of our accounts. You know, instead of improving the game and making the game better in general, they're trying to improve it in our brains by giving us stuff that we have to pay for to make it better. And does it really make it better? I mean, how much time did you, or let's use a better example. How much time has Salt saved by having a deer bands? You know?
Yeah, probably
Like,
50 to
it's
100
huge.
hours, actually.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
Yeah.
So he would say that it was definitely worth it.
Yep.
And I think it's worth it too, except it's a scam. Some scams are worth it.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
I knew
but
some people who would like go to Las Vegas and like rather than booking rooms, they'd go into like those timeshare scams. This was like a married
oh,
couple.
that's timeshares are bad scams all
Yeah,
around.
and what they do is they'd scam the timeshare scam people by like getting all the free stuff and then like pulling out of it. And
Don't you
like
sign a contract that
well,
locks you
I don't
in?
I don't think like they can I don't know. I think they got like comped rooms or something through the whole program, but
That sounds sus. I think they got
it's super
scammed and they
sus.
try to make up some
Yeah,
shit.
made it sound good. Like actually
Dude,
we had
I
to
don't
drop
think
15K
anyone
on
has
a
ever scammed this timeshare person.
yeah.
If you
Timeshare's like
buy
an
a
old school
timeshare,
scam
you got
too.
scammed.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But how did I ever find out that those were scams? I don't know. I think my parents taught me, like when we were walking through a mall or some shit.
Yeah.
Those people. But then you see it in movies and pop culture too.
Absolutely.
I just got an amazing deal, man.
Yeah.
They upgraded me for 2 weeks. I think that was in Always Sunny, Philadelphia. I
Yep.
don't know.
So with with all these scams in mind, do you think the new player is oblivious to these things or completely aware of
Oblivious.
really?
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah, when a new player is enhancing Naru, they're not aware of how the real enhancing system in this game is.
So what's
How
like the
brutal.
first example where they basically run into a brick wall because they didn't realize that that was like a scam
After
mechanic?
seasons.
Would
Whenever they get past the gear that was given to
specifically
them for
what though?
free.
Gear progression after season?
Yeah, whenever they get to the point that they've gotten all the gear that's given for free, and they try to get past that. If you're still before getting all the free stuff, then you're gonna have a grand old time still, because you have progression. Look at you, man. You've hit a brick wall,
I mean, not
right?
really.
No?
I was getting like 2 to 3 DP every week, and that
Why
seemed
haven't you
pretty good to
tell
me.
tell us why you haven't played if you don't mind. Besides IRL stuff,
Well, the
because
IRL stuff is everything, man.
you definitely don't spend all day every day doing IRL stuff. Nobody does.
I have not been on BDO.
I
In
know.
fact, was disconnected when I checked my computer an hour
Were you
ago.
playing RuneScape at all?
Only on my phone, and I'm only doing like AFK woodcutting. Like, I can literally show you how
Yeah,
simple
see,
what I
if
do
you
is.
have time to go out of your way to do AFK woodcutting and RuneScape, you definitely have time to play a game.
No, like, you don't understand. Like, what I do in RuneScape is literally one click every 4.5 minutes while I'm doing something else that I'm like
What
very
I do in
attentive to.
BDO is literally a couple clicks every 8 hours.
Well, that doesn't mean I'm. I mean, I'm doing that though. Like, I'm AFK training in BDO. It's just.
There's so many negative things associated with AFK training.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
I
So
I'm
this is my
disagreeing
RuneScape
myself.
character. So they're just chilling at like this wall
You got
inside of this
so
building.
much louder. Holy shit.
Sorry, I like went right up into my mic. But all you have to do is like click on like this vine thing. I don't know if I even. It's so hard to do this like reverse.
Yeah,
Ah.
you can 100% be
Anyway,
cooking or
they
something
basically are
like
just
that.
chopping away at this vine inside of a game, right? And while I'm like whether it's like playing poker or like doing some programming for my NFT project, that's just my character just chopping away over there. I had to like open it up. I wasn't actually doing it like during the podcast. It's just that like for me it's I like having little things that I can I guess use them to kind of refresh my brain a little bit on like a short term irregular
Are you a
basis.
guru cook yet?
Yeah, I got G5.
G5, why'd you keep going?
I just had a ton of materials and there was an event going. That's the real reason.
Blonde Bear's been spamming me lately trying to get to Guru, and I think he's about to get it finally.
Wow. Wow, look
He's
at it.
kept asking me, "What do I cook? What do I cook?"
Doesn't even
I
matter. Just cook anything.
I know. I kept telling him
Right?
cook the easy stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, "Where do I gather lion meat?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?
There's only like one place.
Roll up." No, he's not gonna gather that shit.
Dude, lion meat was so depressing. I did it for 30 minutes and I'm like, I never want to go back.
You know you can hunt lions, right?
Hmm. Is that in
You don't
Drigan?
have what? No.
Still
There
Valencia, huh?
there might be stuff in Odalita I don't know about, but you can definitely hunt lions by on a not
Yeah,
Ari
sorry. I
has
was
it.
thinking of Shadow Lions. That's probably why. But yeah.
Well, that's Odalita.
Mm-hmm. Right. I
Drigan
said
has
Drigan.
nothing.
Okay. I'm like, wait,
No.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, Drigan is
Yeah, yeah.
shit.
My bad. I meant
Odalita.
Odalita. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Can you hunt anything? Yeah, you can hunt like
Anyway, that's my
ghosts and
bad.
shit.
Just a slip. Yeah, man. I think BDO.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. BDO's a rough game. It's actually pretty rough.
It's brutal.
It's probably like one of the most brutal games I've played, and I wonder if that's partially why I enjoy it, because it seems to be a little bit more realistic. Because things like do downgrade. I don't know. Things do. There's like an element of decay in life. Like if you don't focus on something, it doesn't always just stay in its same state. It might actually get worse or lose its its potency. So
All I know is if any game with any like good content comes out at all,
yeah,
every one of these games is gonna get crushed. But the
yeah.
problem is, all of the games that are coming out in the last 10 years are straight doo doo.
They're mostly clones, right? BDO is a little bit
Bones?
innovative.
You say bones?
Clones.
Oh, clones.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess.
I mean, like think about how innovative WoW was when it came out.
But WoW was actually good. Like, people still want to play that.
I know, of course, WoW was an amazing game. I'm saying that like games like RuneScape, Ultima Online, EverQuest, and WoW, like they didn't have a lot of like these systems that were defined like a like a fetch quest, man. Like that wasn't even like a thing that people had in their games really.
In WoW, there was, like, you had no tips or hints either. You wanted to
Yeah.
find something, you wanted to finish a quest, you didn't know how to, go to Thoughtbot.
Dude, so RuneScape had this place called Rune HQ, but Rune HQ didn't even come out until like 2001. or 2002 maybe. I don't know. But the point was that like a lot of people didn't use quest guides when the game came out, and like it was all about like information and trying to find these things, and like if you really wanted to like find your own success in a game, it was actually by knowing things,
You
right?
still haven't played New World, by the way, right?
I have not really played New Worlds now.
I can't believe you.
I know. You know what's crazy too?
You might as well refund it.
When I started my Twitch stream on this channel, I'm like, New World's gonna be my main game. I was like dedicated to the idea.
Not Ashes of Creation.
No, I'd never even heard of Ashes of Creation at the time. I'd never
What
even heard
about
of it.
Lost Ark?
Lost Ark looks like way outside of my type of game. I'm sorry, I have to sneeze again. Excuse
You
me.
better be sorry.
I'm
How dare
sorry.
you sneeze?
I'm sorry.
God.
Hmm.
Um,
But yeah, Fister made a
so-
comment. Competition only achieved by constant input, or you lose. Yeah, I mean, like I think of even things like I play cello, right? But cello is something that like, yeah, it's like driving, where like if you don't drive for a long time and you drove for a bit before, you still know how to drive. But like with cello, like there's a lot of things you have to kind of relearn.
I don't think you know how to play it anymore.
Yeah, you want me to prove that to you? Just bring it over
Yes.
here.
How many times do I need to tell you?
Play cello on stream, just like go
Yeah, that's
full.
why I don't believe you know how to, because you won't.
Wow.
What, dude? Just call it how I see it. If you,
Dude,
if
one
you think
of
you can
these
play
days,
it, prove it. I want to see Jimmy is about in a music stream. I want Jimmy to
a chat.
post-
Does anyone want to see
What?
me play cello ever?
Not. Oh, I thought you said just chat.
I said
No,
chat.
No, it's
Chat.
music.
I'm asking chat.
And who cares what this chat says? They're not in a music directory.
Play the cello.
Oh, never mind. Listen to what they say.
This isn't a music directory. You made me think of
Bro, You said, do you have a violin you could send me? I could figure out how to play that again.
Why
I
can't
don't know how my trumpet will go with your cello. You said no.
Oh my gosh, sorry, that was really loud. Why does this thing have to be so loud? I was gonna share something really stupid. Do you want to see something really stupid?
If it's not gonna get in trouble on YouTube, sure.
Oh, that's a good point. I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, I don't want to get us
Do it after the podcast.
ripped up. All right. Anyway, any
What is it
closing thoughts,
anyway?
Ghost, on reverse progression and how much it sucks?
Yeah, reverse progression blows. It makes people want to quit games all the time. And there are some positives to it, right? Because if you didn't have any, then people would all be max level, max gear, and then get bored that way. But there needs to be like a middle ground that's achieved by allowing people to get completely geared out and get multiple sets of gear, and at the same time still feel like they can progress towards something. I don't think BDO has any of those
Wow.
things getting checked, because in BDO you get punished. In BDO you run out of content, because there's plenty of people that have gotten everything, and where do they go? What do they do? Do they keep playing? Are you gonna keep playing until you have full pen Fallen God, Jimmy?
No, I mean, to me, BDO is like a well, and right now it feels pretty dry. You know,
Just
frankly.
grab some lube.
I'm saying there's no water left in the well. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I know. Like,
It's not because of pain, man. I'm just saying that there's literally nothing left. Like I'm not saying that I quit. Like obviously I didn't quit because I got unlucky.
yeah, you just are bored because nothing to please you because you've gotten everything you could. Everything
Well,
else
not everything that I could, but everything
what
that
are
I
you
set out
missing?
to
What
get.
don't you have
I mean a few pen accessories, right?
besides pen accessories, which obviously are huge grinds?
Yeah, and like C19s and C20s, all that.
C19. Bro, tell me what you can achieve in less than 2 weeks if you just focused on that.
I could definitely get
And
full
don't-
C9 in about 2 weeks.
No, you couldn't.
I'm already C8.
Bro, Cafris has been sold out for
I'm
like
already
3
C8.
weeks. You can't buy it though.
Dude, I'm sure the pre-orders would go through just fine.
Let's see.
2 weeks is a long time. I'm C8, C8, C7. I'm at like 366 or something now.
And where are you gonna make all that money?
Wherever I want. Bloody Monastery. I mean, I have enough gear that I was destroying those things, dude. I was pulling like
There's
16k an hour.
there's 2,500 pre-orders on Cafris. Maybe you'd get them in 2 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, you get like 2 or 300 a day. I mean, that's still enough. And I'm sure I get more than that every day.
Or you could just go grind sulfur mines and get them to drop for you.
Catchup, yeah, not gonna happen.
Sorry.
So, are you playing BDO much? Are you what are your sights set on?
I just blew up all my mana, so I'm upset.
Fair enough.
Like, I was playing BDO. I've been fishing a lot, and I found the best way to fish, by the way, because I was fishing in a bad way earlier, but now I'm fishing in a good way, which
Yeah.
involves me going out to Margoria
Wow.
fishing, and it was because of the stupid fishing events, but it had me fishing in like cities. If you want to level your fishing, you don't fish in a city, straight up. You want to level your fishing, you go out to the ocean.
Ghost, what's like
So
a small change they can make to BDO to make the reverse progression less I don't know, damning?
add more not like they don't even need safety nets, but like, all right, so you know how you get or Capris when you fail
Yeah, sure.
crons, you can extract Capris, blah blah blah. They need to do
Yes.
more shit like that. If I
Like more
blow up,
balance.
if I want to go for a Tet Manos accessory and it blows up, I want to get something. I get no fail stacks. I get nothing. So
Yeah.
so yesterday when I blew up the three tries or the two tries, the three duos and the two tries, sorry. When I blew up all that, I felt really upset because I got literally nothing
Right.
whatsoever out of it.
Yeah, you got destroyed by this scenario. It's not even
And
fair.
all of that I blew up, all of that was the gear I was wearing. So you're talking about reverse progression. I reverse progressed five of my items down to base,
Sorry. Yeah,
which is
to hear
something
that.
that a new player can get within like
Yeah, a
a
couple
day.
days. Yeah, or
Full
even
set of No, full set of base. A new player can get in a day. Maybe not a day. Full set. It's like 200 mil each.
that's pretty.
1.2 bill.
That's kind of a lot of money for a new player, but yeah, I
All
mean
right, in
a couple
24
days.
hours as a new player,
All
meaning.
right, fair enough.
You get a lot of free shit as a new player. I don't know if you know how much shit they give you
Too
for new
much.
returning adventurers.
Definitely too much.
Makes me want to log out for 30 days and get that free shit. I don't know. Any closing thoughts for you, Mr. Jimbo? Is a bot?
I mean, I always have some thoughts, right? So, if we were to like leave a
THGG.
piece of advice for game developers out there, or for people
Why
looking to
bother
play
wasting your
games,
breath? They don't want to listen.
yeah. I mean, reverse progression. If anything, it makes sense for their game model, which is unfortunate. But they obviously do it for money, right? Is that a fair statement?
I don't know if they do it intentionally.
Hmm.
The stuff like the Naru for sure.
Certain parts of
You know
it.
you could cron Naru, by the way.
I did
I
not.
did. When it first came out, I croned the first few pens.
That's
It's very
interesting.
few crons.
Yeah.
And I didn't want it to downgrade because when I first did it, I didn't know you got those beginner stones for free. So in order to get my beginner stones, I heated or grinded black stones. Like regular black stones, you could turn into beginner stones at a very bad rate too.
I guess like the one thing that I want to try and communicate as well is that I don't think BDO is necessarily too punishing strictly because of the reverse progression. But I think BDO is just incredibly difficult in punishing in general because of its RNG based progression. Right? So even if I didn't downgrade my Black Star, it still would suck to click 62 of them before getting one when someone else clicks one and gets it, right? And that's still true, right?
I mean, everybody's gonna get lucky and everybody's gonna get screwed. It's just when is it gonna happen? Are you gonna get lucky on your plus 15 reblath attempt, or are you gonna get lucky when you go for your pen
Yeah.
accessory?
Yeah.
And that's one of the huge issues that people run into, the ones that get screwed, because you could be enhancing all day and tap plus 15 on like a zero stack 10 times,
I just
and then
even like
fail 30
Kugels,
times
man.
that
Like
day.
I had no idea that like even like look at Kugels versus Byrog, right? And like their first 50 clicks. Well, I don't even know if Kugels has that many, but like Byrog failed like what
For what?
27 or
Hex
whatever.
time?
I'm talking about pen accessories.
Oh.
There's just such variance in this game, man. It's hard to compare apples to apples because everyone's gotten lucky on reblath or whatever. So how could you ever get an accurate data sample?
Would you say you've gotten lucky on anything?
Of course.
What? Name the 5 luckiest things you've gotten.
My drop rate for my Flame of Despair, very lucky.
Okay.
My duo Fallen God, 2 tapped, very lucky.
I wouldn't classify that, but sure.
It's 10%, man. 2 tap is pretty damn good.
That's not that lucky.
Okay.
I'm talking about like shit that's off the charts lucky.
My
Like the
Tet Vaha
flame,
Dawn
I would say. Yeah, well, that was me. I'll take credit for that.
was super lucky though. We
Yeah,
I
I
only had
agree.
5 of them or whatever. Um, that's probably the luckiest thing I've done statistically that
You
had
got a
value to it.
dream horse quick, right?
Yeah, correct. My horses, not as much silver involved there, but yeah, I've tapped.
No, I'm just talking about like luck, not money. You know?
Hmm.
Like there's not much silver involved with a flame of despair, that's 600 mil. But tapping
True.
a Pegasus or whatever on 3 stacks. I think I tapped a unicorn on 3 stacks. And I would
I
say
mean,
that was lucky. But at the
yeah, I've
same time,
tapped 2
also
dream
quick.
horses and 15 clicks total. So
Yeah, see, I've tapped more than 15 dream horses at like all differing clicks. So I don't know if I put my 3 fail stack tier 9, or even the one that I got out of that Chikatu box at one time. I don't know if that classifies it as lucky, because I've had a 68 fail stack Doom before,
yeah,
and that sort of eliminates a lot of
right.
the gains. And
I guess
also,
like at the end of the day, dude, like it's not so much about the reverse progression. It's just that BDO is straight up a hard game. I mean, that's true for a lot of these systems, right? Like the percentages are low, is what I'm basically saying. What's my gear? I'm like a 672 gear score Dark Knight, like 305 AP, 305 367 Kudum. But
what's your gear in New World?
that's funny.
0.
Yeah. Ghost, what do you have for gear in BDO for combat?
Go to my
Go to your Twitch
here.
and find out.
I'll link it.
Any other
After
closing
the
thoughts, though,
thing.
Ghost? I think we're gonna wrap up the podcast here.
No, we're good. We could just
Yeah.
continue to talk about this gear shit after.
Sounds good. Well, thanks everybody. We'll be live again next week. Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We should have some good discussion again. We are looking for some people to guest on our discussions so that we can start introducing
We
more
don't need to
people.
look for people. I have people.
We have people, but if you're interested and you want to talk to us or you have
We
things to
need more
say,
input. We need more input.
then we'd love to hear your input. But yeah, thanks guys. We'll see you next week.